Before the sun rises too high, the garden breathes in. Dew clings to the leaves, and the first sounds of morning drift through the air. If you listen closely, you might hear him, Ruru, the garden's quiet keeper, perched in the fig tree, watching as the world begins to stir. He sees everything, the way the herbs reach for the light, the way small feet run across the grass, and how healing often begins before we even ask for it. And as the day stretches awake, Ruru begins to tell a story. Once upon a quiet morning, Ruru began, the garden was waking up. The air was soft, the bees were busy, and the sunlight made everything feel new again. A small child wandered barefoot through the grass, touching the flowers, counting the ladybugs, and stopping to listen when I called from the fig tree. But then, a sudden whine, a tiny bite on their hand, a mosquito, quick and sharp. The child frowned, tears welling up, and ran to their mother. "It hurts," they said softly. The mother knelt down beside them and looked towards the garden. "Do you see all the green friends out here?" she asked. "They know how to help." She picked a soft, wide leaf growing near the path, the kind the child had often stepped over without noticing. She crushed it gently between her fingers, and the scent was fresh and earthy like rain. She placed the leaf over the bite, and "This little one," she whispered, "is a healer. When your skin feels sore or hot, it cools down and helps it mend." The child watched, quiet now, feeling the cool leaf press against their hand. The sting faded, replaced by a strange calm. All around them the garden breathed, mosquito hum fading, wind sighing, sunlight dancing. It was as if the whole garden was helping too. The child smiled. "Thank you, little leaf," they said. And from that day on, Ruru hooted softly. Whenever the child played outside, they remembered their green friends, whispering thank yous to the herbs and clover, to the tall grasses and the tiny healers underfoot. And the mother thought to herself, this is where it begins, learning to listen, to notice, and to trust the earth to care for us in small, steady ways. That story always reminds me of how much quiet wisdom lives right outside our door. Ruru, our owl that we tell stories with, seems to know that the garden speaks a language older than words. It hums in the wings of insects, in the rhythm of wind through the trees, and in the soft healing power of green. Sometimes the garden teaches us before we realize we're learning. It teaches patience, observation, and the gentle kind of care that doesn't rush. Plantain, calendula, chamomile, yarrow, they're not just herbs, they're companions, steady and humble. They show up again and again, offering their gifts without fanfare. This is what I mean when I say everyday herbalism. It isn't about rare ingredients or fancy labels. It's about living alongside the plants, knowing them by sight, by scent, by feel. It's about a crushed leaf on a mosquito bite, a pot of chamomile tea after a long day, a calendula oil on a sun-kissed cheek. These little rituals root us. They teach us that home and healing belong together. When we gather herbs with our children, we're not just making remedies, we're making memories. We're showing them that the garden is alive, that it sees and responds, that it holds what we need if we take time to notice. If you'd like to see how I make our plantain salve, the same leaf from Ruru's story, you can find that in my plantain salve episode and the recipe walkthrough on the Mumma Flow blog. It's a simple process, but a powerful one. And every time I make it, I think of that little child and Ruru watching from the fig tree, keeping an eye on all the healers growing below. The longer I spend in the garden, the more I notice. Healing doesn't rush. It unfolds in rhythm, just like seasons, just like us. Every time we crush a leaf, pour warm oil into a jar, or sit quietly among the herbs, we're remembering something ancient, something Ruru seems to know, that we belong here. Healing is less about fixing and more about returning to the breath, to the soil, to gratitude. So today, as you move through your home, maybe pause for a moment outside. Breathe in the scent of the green things. Listen for the soft call of Ruru, and remember, the garden is always ready to help. We just have to slow down enough to listen. And if you'd like to bring more of that gentle rhythm into your home, you can download my Waldorf Storytelling PDF. It's a simple guide to crafting your own seasonal stories with prompts, examples, and ways to weave them into your family's week. You'll also find my free tips for creating your family flow, little steps to shape days that feel calmer, more connected, and full of meaning. Both are linked below. A gift from me to help you nurture your own rhythm right where you are. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next week, friends.